thank you again for being on the show. And if you could take this opportunity to introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Yeah, my name is Brian Loussia. My family and I, we own a couple businesses here in Oak Park. We have two wholesale companies. One is Value Wholesale Distributors. We distribute groceries in and around the Metro Detroit area and also some neighboring states. We moved our grocery wholesale company from the city of Detroit to Oak Park in 1995, and we've been here ever since.
Fantastic. And how are you holding up, in light of all the changes to the COVID crisis, and are you staying safe and healthy? Of course, your employees and your family and everybody else.
Yeah, we've been truly blessed. To answer your question, yes, we are staying safe and healthy, thank God. We have a pretty large staff here, and luckily we have had no issues whatsoever. Taken a lot of very severe precautions, knowing the circumstances that we're in right now. But yes, we've been safe and healthy this entire time, and we contribute that to our community of people that we have around us. We've been notified properly of the precautions of what we should be doing to handle our staff, and it's been going very, very well. We've been actually, unlike a lot of people, we've been very busy. We're in an industry that requires us to be active and working right now. So getting groceries out to the people is necessary, and we've been doing that. And luckily, like I said, we have a great staff that's been helping us out and getting the amazing amount of business that we've needed to do during this time has been going very smoothly with good people. Okay,
so just to build on that a little bit, what has changed for you? You mentioned, the business has obviously picked up a little bit because of the nature of what you do, but beyond that, what has changed?
Logistics has changed. The interaction that a driver normally would have with the customer is very different now. Also, the logistics for our vendors getting us the products, the groceries that we need to service the community, that's changed quite a bit. It's been hard to get product. So sometimes we have to send our own trucks to pick up, which has created a lot of extra work on our staff, but we're managing as best we can. Things have gotten a little bit better as of recently. Things have kind of started to stabilize, and we've taken the changes in stride, and it's been going pretty well.
Fantastic. So I think it's fascinating that, you guys, it amazes me how, quickly you guys have been able to adjust, and so much so that you're starting to produce face masks. So I wanted you to expand a little bit on this. How many are made? How many have you made, and how many are being produced a day? And how and where are you distributing those?
Yeah, sure. So the face mask project came along because we heard of the need for them, and we heard of the fact that they can be 3D printed, which we were lucky to have 40 plus printers in house. We stopped printing our own products on the printers instantly, and we transitioned over to the face shields. Those shields are being distributed through our community, through the hospitals. Like I was telling Kim, 95+% of the hospitals are getting them, and then there are a few doctors' offices here and there that we've gotten some too. But as they're more available, as we've ramped up our production, we're getting more and more out to even doctors as well as just the hospitals. We're able to produce 3 shields per printer every roughly 3 hours. Mm-hmm. We've also, through generous donations through our community, we've gotten ability to purchase 65 more printers. So now we're up to 105 printers. And so we've been able to, we produced over 14,000 thus far. We've got them into over 20 hospitals in the local area. And we've actually recently made a big change. We were able to secure a vendor we were able to purchase them instead of producing them. So we were producing them for a cost of roughly $2.50 a shield. We were able to purchase them for $1. So we're obviously able to get a lot more volume out to the people that need them in a lot faster time frame. So that's what's changed. We've actually shut down our production, placed a large order that should be here in roughly about a week, and we're able to help a lot of people in that time.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. Now, anytime there's a great crisis in America, we've resolved and let our ingenuity sort of lead the way out of these things. So do you guys see that within your own operation there? Is producing face masks and things something you plan to do long term and keep that up, or what do you think?
It's something that's come up. A few people have asked that question. we're going to do whatever we got to do to help people. We definitely want to continue to help people as long as they need it. We don't know what the future is going to hold for that, but we know that the beauty of 3D printing and the reason why we got into it in the first place is the fact that you can do something like this overnight the way we did. So to that end, we would love to do anything we can to help. We actually donated 40 of those printers a couple days ago to a group just outside of the U of M hospital, and they are using them now to produce another item that's needed, which is a new version of a respirator. I don't have all the details, but the way it was described to me is they're kind of combining the face mask and the face shield together into one item. And so soon I'll have some pictures of what the outcome of those are. But yes, to answer your question, I guess, is that we've got our printers out to people who need them to continue to help create new items, even to help this whole effort of keeping people as safe as possible.
That's awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
So, you know, by the way, I've already asked you some of the questions I had on this list, but what can the city, specifically the city, and then of course the residents of our local community do to support you guys as a member of our business community during this time? I mean, you guys are seeing this really on the front lines from a business owner perspective. So what can we do that maybe we're not doing, or maybe that the state's not doing, or other entities aren't doing?
I think I'm just going to echo everything that you're hearing on TV and the local and also national news are saying. Is just do your part in staying, secluded, and take the proper precautions that everyone in the government's telling us to do. You know, the stay-at-home order, the 6 foot, the rule, quarantining, and all that is what's important. I don't think there's much else we can do besides just staying safe ourselves. It's going to allow us to let the professionals do their jobs and not spread this any further than it has already been spread. I mean, we are doing our job to get safe groceries to people, and I don't know any other way to help besides do that and what we're doing with the face shields.
Oh, that's great advice. This was done in record time, by the way. You did a great job. Is there anything else that you want to edit in or say?
I really just want to thank everyone involved. So we've had a really big outpouring from our community. We had a lot of people respond to our GoFundMe that we set up, which we've actually since pretty much taken down because we had so many funds that we didn't even expect to get. We were able to purchase the other printers that we, again, have donated since. But thank you to all the people who have donated. Thank you to all the people who have volunteered to help us assemble them. Great. We had 20 plus volunteers that helped a lot with that. And thank you to all of our personal staff here at the companies that we're running, because they've all been coming to work and doing the things that they're supposed to do to stay safe. So we've had no issues here. And they're working hard, working extra hours. So basically, thank you to everyone involved. And thank you to obviously all of the first responders, and especially in the City of Oak Park, the people that have helped keep our people safe and healthy.
Well, Brian, thank you. I mean, honestly, you're a gem. And I'll just say this. It's not only great to just hear your perspective, but, it's great to know that you're here in the City of Oak Park. Because I'll tell you what you're doing, I know, a lot of times people who are heroes don't really realize they're heroes. And I think what you're doing, you're talking about it like it's a advantage almost to you that you get to leave the house when others can't. But the reality is you're leaving the house and putting, yourself in harm's way to make sure that people are fed and have proper PPE and so forth. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. And again, everyone here has been great. So you guys are still doing your jobs. We appreciate you as much as you appreciate us, to be honest.
Absolutely. It's an honor, man. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I now have the honor and privilege of introducing Greg Doyle, who's the manager of the Oakland County One Stop Shop Business Center. Thank you for joining me, Greg.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time. So I want to start off, if you could introduce yourself and tell us, what you do for the county. I mean, obviously right now in these times, the things that you do are just absolutely critical.
Yeah, so, traditionally, what the One Stop Shop Business Center has done is provide service to our small businesses and entrepreneurs out there. So if you're a person that's interested in starting a business, or you already have a business and maybe you want to grow that business, or maybe you're having some difficulty and you need some help straightening things out, our group is the group to go to for that help. And so we do a lot of workshops, workshops and a lot of educational things. In fact, in a year, we'll put over 600 entrepreneurs through our training. But the core of our work is really this one-on-one consulting that we do. And we do it year in and year out with hundreds of small business owners. It's just a great job. Wonderful to work with. But of course now everything's different, right? And we're spending a lot of time trying to help people through this crisis.
So how has the crisis changed the economic development function in your area? Obviously you're dealing with more and more businesses needing assistance, but what are the other changes that you're seeing?
Well, one of the first changes is all of our staff is at home. We're obeying all of the stay-at-home orders as well, except for essential personnel. So I'm in the office, but all my staff is at home. And fortunately, the type of work we do, it lends itself well to that. But if you come to the building today, you're going to see about 10 people here, and that's about it. So we are right now involved in working with a lot of businesses on really one main issue, and it all has to do with cash. How do we help people secure loans? Certainly, I think the audience has heard of the Paycheck Protection Program and also the SBA disaster loan. We've worked with a lot of clients on getting them set and helping them get in order to apply for those loans. It's really kind of a survival mode for a lot of businesses right now. We're doing the best we can to help them out.
One of the things that, it makes me wonder, a lot of these issues with businesses, I think they're saying 1 in 4 small businesses are going to go belly up, maybe permanently as a result of this crisis. So do you see some of the programs and some of the changes in the way you guys are maybe triaging some of the more severe situations? Do you see that becoming more of a permanent part of your operation?
Well, I sure like to think it won't be. I think that this has been an event unlike any other. A lot of us lived through that last downturn, which we never thought we'd see anything as bad. But, if you're especially a restaurant, a bar, a retail store, things just stopped completely. The spigot turned off. And that's money's the lifeblood of a business. And so, we're really dealing with an awful lot of Oakland County, believe it or not, has 44,600 plus small businesses. Wow. And only 50 or fewer. That's a huge number. And you can see what effect that has on the economy. So, we're hoping that we can get, the majority of our businesses surviving through this, but certainly it's such a challenge that we know things are going to be different when we come out the other side.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable number.
Yeah.
So I want to get Oak Park specific here. So
yeah,
Oak Park, we're in the middle of a rebirth, really. And so, for us, it's trying to, find ways to keep this momentum going and attracting businesses. So what advice do you have for us? And, what are the things that we can do as a local unit of government to keep this momentum going in the right direction?
Oh, I think that's great. Oak Park, I think, is a great city with great opportunity and things we've noticed just over the last few years, a number of clients increasing coming from Oak Park. Certainly, you've got a great economic development person in Kim. And I think that is a good piece of advice right there, as to get connected to her, and maybe we can put her contact information up. But also our organization, our offices are at Waterford, but we help everybody, every small business in the county we're open to, and we've got so many good tools. And if you looked at the experience level on our staff, I'm guessing we'd probably be over 100 years worth of small business consulting there. And it's all available to your Oak Park businesses at no cost. So the value is incredible, and I would really encourage that. And we really want to see Oak Park grow and thrive from a small business perspective. So we're here to help.
So Greg, I'm curious what you think and expect the long-term impact of this pandemic to be on the business community?
Yeah, I guess that's some procrastination, right? Because nobody knows for sure. But the interesting, there's a number of things that have happened here. Work at home. I mean, everybody's working from home, so will be interesting to see. A lot of industries maybe have found out for the first time whether that works for them or doesn't work for them. And I suspect a lot of people are figuring out that works for our company. And so I think that you'll see a lot more work at home. That possibly affects the commercial real estate market some. So I think that's something to watch. The other thing is we've become even more comfortable with shopping online. We become even more comfortable with delivery services. I think those delivery services, I was reading something about, the milkman back in the day. I think those kind of services stand a chance at coming back in really getting a strong foothold. But if you're a small business right now and you're not online, you're not doing any business online, I'm sure you're realizing, wow, that could have been a channel to generate some revenue for me. And so, really to use this time to take a look at how do you get a better online presence or get your business online, I think is incredibly important. So I don't think people are going to back off shopping online. So that trend will continue. The work at home trend, I think, is going to get stronger. And I think those two things really start to can affect things on a broader scale.
No doubt about it. And so getting away from the business side of it for a moment, what advice, if any, do you have for Oak Park residents during this unprecedented time?
The big thing is to stay safe, of course. We need everybody makes a contribution, and we're expecting as we move out of this crisis that our residents, whether they're in Oak Park or wherever they are in Oakland County, are going to be key and critical to helping us recover from this. Can't do that if you're not healthy. And so, we really would stress, take it serious. The governor's orders, the county executive's orders around social distancing, around shelter in place. Hold on, we're going to get out of this. We will be out of it. Just hang in there and keep yourself and your family safe and healthy.
Greg, I want to thank you so much for joining me on today's show. Your presence and your input is much appreciated.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having us. We really, as I said earlier in the show, we're here to help. So any of your small businesses need assistance, please send them our way, and we're going to treat them well and help them get to where they want to go.